What is up, YouTube? So today I'm coming on here late. I meant to be on here a bit ago, but I was just trying to do some research on something that kind of came across my desk, as it were. I don't have a desk, but it came across my inbox, and there was a story that I didn't realize was really getting ready to start transpiring because it's kind of been flying under the radar a little bit. I think primarily because there's really no video for it. So, in most news media and all that, they rely on a video format. And when you're relying on drawings and stuff like that, excuse me, I'm going to move this live TV. When you're relying on that, it does make it hard to tell a story. So, what I wanted to do real quick was I wanted to jump on here and we're going to go to the New York Post. I read an article that they had put out from maybe 2 days ago, and so I thought, well, let's see what else is going on over there. And it's really just, they're just kind of just, giving us what they know at this point. Obviously, things are just getting started on this. Because of the nature of this trial, kind of put it in the description, that there's really no way to make this family friendly. So I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's just like a very sensitive topic. So, I wouldn't do this in front of my kids. So, do what you want. But, fair warning, it is, like I said, it is kind of adult topic, and there would be no way to get through these articles without something being seen. So, um, all right. So this is what I did was I went to their site and I just basically just, typed in her name. And what I wanted to do was I just want to go down to the bottom of this list and just kind of look at some of the titles and stuff. And maybe we can come to an understanding as to why these stories aren't getting any more traction than what they are. My YouTube feed should be overwhelmed with these bits of information. I don't see anything in it. And honestly, I did this search, outside of standard search engines because I wanted to make sure I could, get an unedited pic. I know that's almost paranoid sounding, but unfortunately, if you want to test it, just type in a topic and do it on two different search engines, and you'll literally find completely different hits and from major news sources. One search engine won't include hits from certain locations and vice versa. So you really do. That's why this idea of the combined news network show um, has kind of like sunk in so much with in my head is because there's so much out there that it's just almost possible for a person to do it on. So what I'm going to do is just hit the starting from the bottom up. This starts at November 30th, and now this is an article from November 26th. Now these are some of the things that I have picked up already from these stories. So, this is her brother, and there's an idea already being brought forward that somehow that this is simply just a smear campaign in this situation against his sister, and he doesn't think there's any other evidence whatsoever. The family is pretty much in line with that, which I mean, you kind of expect the family to have your back, hopefully to a certain degree, but this situation, my older brother and I were talking. There's a lot of major crimes are solved historically because friends and family members turn people in because what they're doing is so heinous that no reasonably thinking person can allow it to continue. And so, this is in my, not trying to prejudge her any more so than is obvious. Uh, but I mean, she very well could have kept her family in the dark. Someone who's capable of doing something like this, someone whose mind functions in a way to where you can like suspend morality and suspend your own like natural paternal or maternal instincts and do the things that they were doing. You can convince yourself of anything, and usually you can even convince yourself of a lie and still be able to make it plausible to the people hearing it because you seem so impassioned by it and all that stuff. But that's not even that doesn't mean anything. Good actors fool us all the time. So, and now here's the sentences that she's looking at. Effectively, this is longer than she will likely live if she does get convicted. read this article here, and I went through this one completely. And to be quite honest with you, again, the post is not. They're not picking a side. They're not saying she's innocent, she's guilty. They literally are just presenting what is, before us at this point. And I can see why. At first I was against it. I'll be honest. I heard that they were not going to allow cameras in the courtroom, and then I read this article, and I'm going to let it load up here. Apparently, the wrong time of day to be reading the New York Post. But I read this article, and I can see why there's no cameras. So again, I'm not. I know there's freedom of press, and I understand that, but this is inflammatory to a degree that I don't believe that you can find a person. Uh, you're going to find any large percentage of the population that is not going to be against this. All right. I think it's pretty clear that we all find this activity reprehensible. Um, and so I just want to kind of let you know that, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on in the press right now. And there, what happens, many, many cases, is things that are really important, things that really matter, things that are impactful, things that we should actually be paying attention to kind of get swept under the rug, in instead of them being addressed, they get swept under the rug because they bring along some kind of new conspiracy or got some new kind of thing for everybody to get all freaking, pissed off about. And while that's going on, while they're, hey, look over here, woo, look over here, dude, look over here, don't see this thing, but you need to look over here. When they're doing that to you, it's because something that's about to make a lot of people look bad is getting ready to happen. You will find historically, and this has happened from both sides of the aisle, so this is not a partisan issue, but on both sides of the aisle, they will start up some big brouhaha over something that means nothing. And in the background, they're passing bills that they really shouldn't be passing, considering how they have verbally supported or not supported the same ideas. They're just saying, hey, it's okay now because I'm getting paid. Well, when they ain't getting paid, they're saying it's terrible, but then they do it behind closed doors. That's politics. So sorry to burst your bubble. That's the reality of it. When it comes to things like this, what's going to happen from this, what should happen, let me preface that. What actually should happen is a lot of people should be like hiding away on their private islands and disappearing from the sight of the rest of the world because they're about to be exposed for what they are. And because the amount of money that they have, the likelihood of many people being incarcerated just to be honest with you, is going to be very slight because they have the money. And unfortunately, in this judicial system we have in the United States, where judges are elected, where the highest sitting position we have is a position that is elected by the popular vote, so that means they have to campaign. And so where there's money, there's corruption, and the entire system runs that way. That's where their protection comes in. If you go through, and I'm out of time here, but take a minute and go through this article on the New York Post. I will in on the rebroadcast. Well, this is not loading because there's so many ads on it. I will put a link to this in the rebroadcast so that you can go and read this and read the part of this whole story that I, they have hidden the best that I can tell, but it's just a matter of public record. And it will, it'll make you want to throw your phone. So I'll just tell you that, but I'll just link to the article down below, and you can check that out for yourself. So remember, folks, there are things that are worth standing up for and fighting for, and for letting your voice be heard for. This is a topic that I don't. How can you be a human and not be against the things that these people were doing, and want to see those who are doing it brought to justice? So if people forget about what's going on, then there it's allowed to slip through the cracks. And so it's kind of a thing where if we don't keep it out there and keep it in front of people, then it gets forgotten and then we move on to the next thing when this freaking matters, folks. So, all right. Thanks for stopping in. Love you guys, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye, y'all. I keep doing that and I don't have it ready to shut off because I'm just a dork and I keep forgetting I can't edit anymore. All right. See you guys. Bye.